Hello YouTube. My blueberry plants finally arrived. I ordered 11 plants, 5 for me, and 3 for my mom and dad, and 3 for my brother. I kept 2 Chandlers, 2 Patriots, and 1 Elliott. I found these plants on Facebook Marketplace locally. They came from a blueberry producer, and if I ordered 10 or more plants, they actually deliver them for free. So I suggest to try and source your blueberry plants maybe from a local producer rather than something that may have been brought in from who knows where. But I looked at my growing zone, and then I looked up what blueberries do well in that growing zone. I then verified that with what the actual blueberry producers are growing. And these were 3 of the 7 that they will grow. I chose these based upon berry size. I also based them upon the fact with my already existing blueberry plants, I should have blueberries producing all through the year of the season. So blueberries are one of our favorites and we can't get enough of them. I'm going to try blueberries in a pot, but I'm also going to put some of these in the ground so I can compare how well they do. But the one thing I remember this time before transplanting is I remembered to actually properly label all the plants before I started. My current blueberry plants are these 2, which are probably 12 to 15 years old. I dug them up from my parents' house when they moved. They produce very well. I added these last year. This is supposedly a Haspis berry. These are 2 other blueberry plants I got from a local retailer. That one is Blue Gold Blueberry. And this apparently was a Haspis berry too, which it grows incredible. That's 2 years old, but it doesn't produce very well yet. And the berries are a little bit oblong compared to a blueberry, and they don't taste as well. So I'm gonna give this guy a chance for a couple more years, and then I'm gonna transplant him just outside the yard for the wildlife. In all of my pots, I put a layer of gravel that is just above the holes. And then I take pieces of leftover landscape fabric, and it doesn't have to be fancy, just, I mean, this is probably overkill, but I just simply put it in the bottom of the pot, covering the rocks, then I add my soil. So all my pots that I'm going to be transplanting in will already have gravel and landscape fabric in the bottom. This is the first pot I'm going to be transplanting one of the blueberry plants into. That's a 5-gallon bucket, so I imagine that pot would be, 7, 8 gallons. And there's just regular potting soil from Costco, some sheep manure I'm going to be adding, and there's the peat, and the garden soil is already dumped in the wheelbarrow. So most of the time I just stir it up in the wheelbarrow and then fill all my pots, but I'm just going to show you how I'm doing it here to the ratio according to the size of the pot. There's a little bit of sterilized sand I'm going to add. Sometimes the peat holds too much moisture. I do all my garden, everything in here is on drip. I changed that over about 3 years ago, and it's the only way to go. It uses less water and nothing ever dies. That's a strawberry tiered planter that I made this spring just before I'm doing this video, because I moved my strawberries from up there last year to all on the deck. It took up too much space, so I thought I would build a tiered thing. I like my strawberries on the deck because you can sit out here and eat them off out of the pots right off the plant. They sometimes dampen off and rot up there because you don't check them every day, and if they touch the ground they can rot. This just makes it a lot easier. I figured that about 30–40% of the peat will help with the pH of the blueberry plant. So I'm just going to dump some of the garden soil in here. This is the peat. And a little bit of sand. And a little bit of manure. I'm going to mix this up. As you can see, I've put the entire pot with the blueberry plant in it in the bigger pot. It's level to about the top where I want it, and now I can start filling the pot up around that. pots out, holes still in the ground, break up the roots. Everybody does it a little bit differently. When I'm mixing up bigger portions of soil, I'll do it in the wheelbarrow and just stir it up. It's a lot easier. There's the first blueberry plant transplanted. There will be the second one. So I'll stir it up in here and make larger portions for doing at least 3 of the blueberry plants.